In this video, we will look at the climbing gym Tobito, and we will see how they use emotional labor to facilitate coaching and why it works in a Japanese context. The first concept we will talk about is emotional labor. And emotional labor is labor that requires one to suppress feelings in order to sustain an outward continuance that produces the proper state of mind in others. This can range from surface acting, where the actor or actress is faking an emotion, like a smile, or portray a specific role. Deep acting, on the other hand, refers to the performer bringing up emotions from deep inside and being able to feel that emotion. Therefore, they will subsequently be able to portray it. In a climbing gym, surface acting is mostly used, but deep acting can also be used as a coach to show excitement for the athlete by drawing upon personal experiences and using those feelings, such as elation, to help support the athlete.
僕の名前は南川剛です。クライミングジムトビトのオーナーです。クライミングジムトビトは、9年目の、クライミングジムになります。そうですね、僕はいつも来ているクライマーたちの中で一番クライミングを楽しんでいるように振る舞うようにしています。僕が一番この中で楽しいっていつも思いながら接客をしたりコーチングをしたりでアドバイスをしたりしているので、そういうところがでみんなもそれでクライミングは楽しいんだって思ってくれたらと思ってます。
In Japan, rock climbing, especially bouldering, can be compared quite closely to CrossFit and branded fitness, as to where people commit substantial time and money to be a part of a group, which spills over into everyday life, and in this case, going so far as to modify one's body. In these pictures, can you see the resemblance of CrossFit and climbing? CrossFit also uses social cohesion to help people coming back. A concept that can help explain why this works in Japan is the Uchi versus Soto dynamic. Being associated with a group and group identity in Japan is deeply ingrained in their psyche, and from a young age they are taught the saying Uchi wa uchi, soto wa soto, which translates to the in is the in and the out is the out. Ashby states that the Uchi-Soto dynamic, in terms of indexing social closeness and measuring of degrees of inside and outside. At a basic level, the dynamic involves an expanding and contracting sense of in-group and out-group, or inclusion and exclusion, of which shifts in response to context. Just as in CrossFit, climbing is seen as a group activity, and activity correlates directly to the Uchi-Soto psyche.
うちのお客様方クライマーたちはみんなセッション一緒に登るっていうのが好きでそれをしてるんですけども、コミュニティが強いのでみんなで切磋琢磨しながら競い合いながらやってるのが強さの理由だと思います。
Over the years, climbing has had an ever more present impact on fitness and the idea of fitness as a fun outlet. The higher level you can climb, the more options of routes you have in any climbing gym or area. Therefore, the demand of quality coaches has increased, but the supply is still extremely limited. But how do we create a quality coach? In the case of Tobito, social cohesion through emotional labor is the driving force in answering this question.
いろいろ理由はあると思いますが、一つはその9年前はそれほどクライミングのチーム自体が多くはなかったっていうのがあると思います。
In the last 10 years, the number of recreational climbing gyms in Osaka has gone from 5 to 31, and in the greater Tokyo region risen to a current total of 73, with over 468 registered gyms currently operating across the country, with more in the works. Compare this to the 96 in 2009. A climbing coach is also similar to a personal trainer. As McGuire states, fitness is not simply a matter of working one's body, shape, or health, but part of a larger set of consumer activities and health promotion strategies making claims upon individual identity. So what does this have to do with emotional labor? Now that we know what the Uchi-Soto concept and emotional labor are, we can explore how they connect to gyms and climbing coaching. Climbing gyms are at heart of business, and for a business to be successful, they need to turn a profit. By gaining new customers and keeping them as regular customers is a good source of revenue. The concept of a climbing coach is, again, similar to that of a personal trainer, and the structure of work set the stage for the occupation of personal training with its combined elements of service work, emotional labor, and flexibility. Using emotional labor, the climbing gym staff and coaches help facilitate this inclusion transition while keeping social cohesion of the currently established in-group. A common practice is where a coach or a staff member will initiate a session where climbers come together and all work together on the same routes for the same goal.
僕たちはアウトドアのクライミングで強くなるっていうのを少し目的にしているので、スタッフもある程度アウトドアのクライミングに精通しているものが多いです。不意中ですね、強度的にもかなり難しいものを登れるようにしています。
Emotional labor, at its heart, is a facilitator for service work, and in this case helps to acquire new athletes and helps with the inclusion of said athletes into the in-group. Therefore, as a coach, in this case, is an important quality that can be drawn from for any situation to excite athletes if they need it, or create a comfortable environment for all to feel welcome. In the outcome, stronger, better climbers.